You
So
can see
video will be uploaded.
yes, video will be uploaded.
Okay, sir.
Or you have the note also.
Sir,
If you go through the note,
sir,
even if you
Sir,
don't find in the
nothing
video,
is presenting.
sir,
yes.
excuse
Sir,
me, sir.
can you speak louder?
Yes, tell
Excuse
me,
me,
what are you
sir.
saying?
Sir, I don't know your channel ID, sir. Can you send in the group?
Okay, I'll send.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and see, go through the solution that I have given you here. Okay, even if you don't find this in the video, this solution, then I will explain again in the next class. No problem. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
So what I intend to start today is a new topic, and that is your rectilinear figures. I want to start rectilinear figures today. Let me tell you, remember the properties, and it's not going to be an easy one. Okay, now what is a rectilinear figure? A rectilinear figure is any figure that is bounded by line segments. Okay, so in fact, any kind of a polygon is a rectilinear figure. Okay, so examples of rectilinear figure I've already shown you. This is a rectilinear figure. This is a triangle. This is a rectilinear figure. This is a quadrilateral. This is a rectilinear figure. This figure that I have drawn may not be very clear, but this is, let me just redraw this figure. This is also a rectilinear figure because it is made up of line segments. Okay, all these are rectilinear figures. Quadrilaterals are actually special kinds of rectilinear figures, okay, which are closed. If you see this rectilinear figure, this one is not closed. Okay, in fact, even if they are, there are two bounded regions, this and this. Suppose this, if I give you this kind of a figure, this is also a rectilinear figure, but this is not bounded. If you see this area, this part, this is not bounded, only this part is bounded, right? So therefore, the basic definition is that that a quadrilateral is such a figure in which it is made up of four line segments and it is bounded. Okay, we'll be we'll be dealing with quadrilaterals only in this chapter. Okay. So proceeding, what are the types of quadrilaterals? I have given this figure to you in class 8 also, if you remember. Quadrilaterals are mainly of three types: trapezium, a parallelogram, or a kite.
Kite.
Three types of quadrilaterals. Okay, and among trapeziums, the special kind of a trapezium would be an isosceles trapezium. Okay, among trapeziums, the special kind of a trapezium, it is called an isosceles trapezium. We shall study the properties of isosceles trapezium. Among your parallelograms, rhombus is a special kind of a parallelogram. Rectangle is also a special kind of a parallelogram. Square is also a special kind of a parallelogram. All these are parallelograms. Rhombus is also a parallelogram. Rectangle is also a parallelogram. Square is also a parallelogram. Okay, so parallelogram is a basic figure on which all these three figures are built. Okay.
Allah.
Now also we'll study kite. Okay, but your most important ones will be your this. The most important ones will be your rhombus, rectangle, and square. Okay. Your most important ones will be your parallelograms, rhombus, rectangle, and square. So let us study the first kind of quadrilateral, which is the trapezium. Any quadrilateral in which you have two parallel sides. Let's say I have two sides that are parallel. This is a trapezium in which these two sides are parallel. Okay, this quadrilateral ABCD is called a trapezium. So basic definition of trapezium, remember, any quadrilateral in which two sides are parallel is called a trapezium. Okay, what are these called? What are these sides called? These sides are called the non-parallel sides of the trapezium. These sides are called the non-parallel sides. Okay, and these two are the parallel sides, AB and DC. Okay, we now come to trapezium. There is nothing much to mention. Just remember, a quadrilateral in which any two sides are parallel is called a trapezium, in which you have two parallel sides and the other two sides are called the non-parallel sides. The special kind of a trapezium has a property, the isosceles trapezium. This has a property. Now, an isosceles trapezium is a special kind of a trapezium in which a non-parallel sides are equal. So if I have a trapezium, so obviously two sides will be parallel. This is a general trapezium, any trapezium. Now this trapezium, if it is such that these two sides are equal, the non-parallel sides, if they are equal, then such a trapezium is called an isosceles trapezium. I think I had mentioned this back in class 8 also. This trapezium is called an isosceles trapezium. Okay, and if I take the midpoint here of this, say if I take the midpoint of this side means a point such that this, let me take this as point Q, such that this PD is equal to PA. And if I take the midpoint here, middle point, say Q, such that CQ is equal to BQ. And if I join them, then this dotted line is called the median of this trapezium. Not that you will come across this word very frequently, but you can know. Okay, this is called the median of the trapezium. Okay, and yes, I think that is it. And of course, these are called the bases of the trapezium. For an isosceles trapezium, this is called the base. This side is called the base. This side is also called the base. These two are called the bases of the trapezium. Okay. Now, a special property of an isosceles trapezium is that the base angles of the isosceles trapezium are always equal. Now, what does it mean? The base angles will be equal. This angle of an isosceles trapezium, not all trapezium, only for isosceles trapezium, these two angles will be equal for an isosceles trapezium. Okay. Also, these two angles will be equal. These are the base angles. Okay, this is a special property of an isosceles trapezium, that the base angles will be equal. So for if an isosceles trapezium is given to you, then you can conclude that these two red angles are equal and these two blue angles are equal because they are the base angles of the trapezium. Fine. Any problem still here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Now we come to parallelogram. Now, parallelogram, properties of a parallelogram we have done also back in class 8. But the problem, but the extension here is that you will have more properties of the parallelogram. Okay, you have more in detail. Also, you have the proof of these properties. Not only the properties, but also the proof of the theorems or the properties. Okay. So first we study the properties. We'll do the theorem at the end. Once we finish the chapter, then I will discuss the proof. Proof is all given in the textbook. Proof also comes in your examinations. Okay. So we'll first discuss the properties. We'll see how to apply these properties. Then we'll see the proof. Now, what is a parallelogram? any quadrilateral, remember the definition, as I told you back in class 8 also, that any quadrilateral, if I have such that the opposite sides of the quadrilateral are parallel. That means if I have this quadrilateral ABCD such that this side is parallel to this side and this side is parallel to this side, that is the opposite sides are parallel, then I can call it a parallelogram. Otherwise, I cannot call it a parallelogram. So the basic definition of a parallelogram is that the opposite sides of the parallelogram have to be parallel. Okay, this is the basic definition of a parallelogram. We now come to the properties of a parallelogram. The first property is that given a parallelogram, let me redraw this once again. First property, so what I give you is, I give you a parallelogram. Property 1. Try to understand the properties very well. You have to remember them. Okay. Property 1. And property 1 states that the diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. Let us take I give you this parallelogram. So you know that this figure that I am giving you is a parallelogram. Say A, B, C, D. I have given this to you as a parallelogram, so I know that these two sides are parallel. And I also know that these two sides are parallel. Okay. And I give you a diagonal of this parallelogram. I give you a diagonal of this parallelogram. Okay. Now, according to this property, if ABCD is a parallelogram given to you, and if AC is a diagonal, then this triangle must be congruent to this triangle. This is the first property. Okay. I hope you can understand the property. Given a parallelogram such that AC is a diagonal, then I can say that this triangle is congruent to this triangle. Similarly, if I give you another parallelogram, okay, I give you this parallelogram. I had taken the diagonal AC in the previous figure. This time what I do is I take the diagonal BD, this diagonal. Then what can I say? According to this property, then I can say that these two triangles are congruent. Okay. So I hope this property is clear. No problem with this property. Move on to the next property. In a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. This is a theorem. This is not the definition of a parallelogram. So according to this property, property 2, if I give you a parallelogram, if I give you this parallelogram, okay, so I know that these two sides are parallel. Then I can say that the opposite sides of this parallelogram, by this property I can say that the opposite sides will be equal. This side equal to this side and this side equal to this side. Clear? So if I give you a parallelogram, you can say that the opposite sides, according to this property, you can say that the opposite sides are parallel. Okay, so try to be very clear. I give you a parallelogram. So what do you know? If I give you a parallelogram, you know that the opposite sides are parallel, definitely. From the definition, because that is the basic definition of a parallelogram. But from this property, if you're using this property, then you also know that the opposite sides are equal of a parallelogram. Okay. Now, not only this property, but there is a converse of this property also. According to converse of this property, converse of property 2. Now, what is the converse of property 2? According to converse, if I give you any quadrilateral, not necessarily a parallelogram, I don't know whether it is a parallelogram, I don't know whether it is a rhombus, I don't know anything. I know, but this is a quadrilateral. Okay, this is some quadrilateral I know. And additionally, I have already given you that ABCD is a quadrilateral. Additionally, what I give you is that the opposite sides are equal. Okay, then you can conclude that this quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Everything is the
Yes, sir.
difference between what is given to
Yes,
you
sir.
and what you can conclude. What is given to you and what you can conclude. That is what you have to realize. You first have to see what is given. Okay, and according to whatever is given, you have to conclude. Okay, so just like as in converse, in the property 2, what had I said in property 2? In property, I had given this to you as a parallelogram. You concluded that the opposite sides are equal. Okay, but here in the converse, I give you just the opposite of what was there in property 2. That is, any quadrilateral in which the opposite sides are equal, and you conclude that it is a parallelogram. That is why it is called the converse. Okay, all these properties we are going to study as theorems later on. Okay, next, property 3. Property 3 is property 3. You have done this in your class 8 also, that if I give you a parallelogram, ABCD, remember I have given you a parallelogram. I have not given you any quadrilateral. I have given you a parallelogram. Okay, I have given you a parallelogram. If a parallelogram is given to you, then according to this property, you can conclude that the opposite sides are opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. What are the opposite angles? These two angles must be equal. Also, these two angles must be equal. Okay. So if you have these two angles as your y, these two must be y, and these two must be x. This property you have already done in your class 8, but the converse is important of this property. Okay, and in fact, in all the properties that I give you here, the converse of all the properties are important here. Converse of property 3. Converse of property 3. Now remember, when I was saying about discussing property 3, I told you that a parallelogram was given to you. But here in this case, in the converse, I give you any quadrilateral. I give you any quadrilateral, ABCD. I don't know whether this is a parallelogram, whether this is a rhombus. I don't know. And what else do I give you? I tell you that it is such a quadrilateral in which the opposite angles are equal. These two angles are equal, and these two angles are equal. Therefore, you conclude that ABCD must be a parallelogram. It cannot be any other quadrilateral. It cannot be a kite. It cannot be a trapezium. It has to be a parallelogram. Okay. So consider the difference between the property 3 and the converse of property 3. In property 3, it was given to you that the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. And additional, so you concluded that the opposite angles were equal. But here in the converse, it is given to you that ABCD is any quadrilateral such that the opposite angles are equal. So additionally, in addition to being given that it is a quadrilateral, it is also given to you that the opposite angles are equal. So therefore, you conclude that ABCD must be a parallelogram. It cannot be any other quadrilateral. Okay. So this was property 3. Okay. Next property, property 4. Property 4. Okay. According to this property, if any pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral are equal and parallel. So given to you here is any quadrilateral given to you here is any quadrilateral ABCD. And what else is given? It is given to you that these two sides, this side and this side, AB and DC, they are parallel and also they are equal. Then you conclude that ABCD must be a parallelogram. Any pair of sides. Okay, I don't know what about this side and what about this side, whether they are parallel, equal or not, but these two sides, definitely this side and this side, what I know is that they are parallel and also they are equal in this quadrilateral. Then I can say that this is a parallelogram. Okay. Property 4. Property 5. Property 5 we have already done. Diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. Nothing much to be mentioned here. But what again you must see what is given and what you must conclude. So here it is given to you that ABCD is a parallelogram. So I give you a parallelogram. So you know that this is a parallelogram. These two must be parallel. And I give you the diagonal of this parallelogram also. I give you the diagonal of this parallelogram such that a diagonal intersect at O. Then according to this property, you can conclude that this length OA must be equal to this length OC. This length OD must be equal to this length OB. Okay, according to this property. That is this property is also called diagonal bisect each other. The converse of this property is also is important. As I told you in this class, the converse of the properties are more important than the properties themselves. Converse. This time in the converse, what I give you is I give you any quadrilateral. I don't know whether this quadrilateral is a parallelogram, whether this is a rhombus, whether this is a kite or any quadrilateral that you can think of. I don't know. Okay, you know, simply know that this is a quadrilateral. What kind, I don't know. And additionally, what is given to you here, apart from being given that this is a quadrilateral, it is also given to you that the diagonals of this quadrilateral are such that they bisect each other. The diagonals of this quadrilateral are such that they bisect each other. That is, this length is equal to this length and this length is equal to this length. Okay. Then you can conclude that ABCD is a parallelogram. Clear? Is it clear? Or any question on this property?
So clear, sir. No questions.
Yes,
And
sir.
I think this was the last property. Okay. Property 4, 5. Yes, this was the last property.
Sir, can you repeat the converse of property 5 once more, please?
If any quadrilateral is given to you, I don't know whether ABCD is a parallelogram, it is a rhombus or whatever, but I simply know that it is a quadrilateral. Okay, it is a rectilinear figure in which is bounded by 4 straight lines. This is what I know. Okay, and also I know that this rectilinear figure or this quadrilateral is such that its diagonals, they bisect each other. So diagonal bisect each other means this length must be equal to this length, and this length must be equal to this length. So I know this also. Then I can conclude that ABCD must definitely be a parallelogram. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.